Have you ever imagined being trapped in an empty pool with a hungry crocodile watching your every move? What if it all happened out of nowhere, in a place where no one can hear you scream for help? In today's video, we're diving, literally, into one of the most suffocating and surprising films in Thai cinema, The Pool, 2018. Get ready for a breakdown that will leave you breathless, showing why this minimalist thriller is a masterclass in tension. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end, because this story will surprise you at every turn. And don't forget to watch the suggested video that's popping up on your screen. What makes a suspense film truly nerve-wracking? Is it the confined setting, the constant threat, or the utter isolation of the protagonist? The Pool is a masterclass in turning simplicity into absolute nightmare fuel. Directed by Ping Lumpraploing, this Thai film traps the viewer in a brutal scenario. Day, the main character, becomes stuck in an Olympic-sized pool 6 meters deep, with too little water to swim, yet too much to escape. And as if that weren't enough, a hungry crocodile enters the picture, turning every second into a fight for survival. The setup is claustrophobic and terrifyingly realistic, like a scream echoing inside your own mind, with no relief in sight. The story starts off casually. Day is floating in the pool on an inflatable raft after wrapping up a commercial shoot. Without realizing it, the pool's drainage system is activated. By the time he notices the water level dropping, it's already too late. His phone is out of reach, the ladder is removed, and things get worse when his girlfriend, Koi, shows up to surprise him and ends up falling into the pool, hitting her head. Panic sets in quickly, and the script doesn't offer a moment to breathe. Every failed escape attempt escalates the tension. The direction leans on tight shots and oppressive silence to heighten the pressure, while ambient sounds, wind, dripping water, shallow breaths create a suffocating atmosphere that never lets go. Then the real turning point hits: the crocodile. It doesn't appear as an over-the-top CGI monster. It's slow, silent, and terrifyingly real. Its presence transforms desperation into sheer terror. Suddenly, the pool, once a symbol of leisure, becomes a prison, and the reptile, more than just a predator, comes to represent time, thirst, fear, and the breaking point of the human body. The dynamic between Day and the animal is meticulously constructed, relying more on psychological pressure than flashy action. That's what elevates The Pool. Above a typical thriller, it becomes a study of instinct, silent despair, and deadly loneliness. As the story progresses, the pool stops being just a physical space and becomes a true emotional abyss. Director Ping Lumpraploing pulls us into a deep dive, not into water, but into the fragile psyche of a man facing the absurd. Day, played with raw intensity by Theradej Wongpuapan, is far from the typical hero. He has no superpowers, no special skills, not even exceptional physical strength. He's just an ordinary man, thrown into an extraordinary nightmare. And that's exactly what makes every one of his decisions feel so real and so painful. His attempts to escape, climbing slippery walls, using duct tape to write "help" on the floor, trying to care for his unconscious girlfriend, all reveal the desperate ingenuity of someone with nothing left but instinct. What sets The Pool apart is its commitment to realism. The story never takes the easy route. Every time a possible solution appears, something makes it worse. The water is too low, his body too weak, the phone out of reach, or the crocodile reawakens. The film piles on the obstacles like a cosmic joke, but there's nothing funny here. It's brutal, cruel even, and deeply believable. The suspense doesn't come from cheap jump scares. It comes from watching someone struggle, fail, and try again when it seems hopeless. The film becomes like a slow-moving clock, ticking toward disaster, and we're forced to watch heart racing as every second drips with tension. Time itself becomes a key element of the horror. As Day grows weaker from dehydration, injuries, and hunger, the days begin to blur, There's no clear way to track how long he's been trapped, and that adds to the nightmare. There's very little dialogue, almost no exposition. Everything is shown through action and expression. His body begins to break down before our eyes, while the crocodile, still and patient, becomes a living metaphor for death, not always active, but always waiting. The director masterfully uses this predator not just as a threat, but as a psychological weight, and the question hangs heavy in the air. Can he survive one more hour, one more minute? Watching. The pool is like witnessing someone slowly drown in silence, and that helplessness is what makes the suspense so overwhelming. In the final act of The Pool, what started as a physically exhausting scenario evolves into a complete emotional breakdown. Day is no longer just trapped. He's deteriorating. His body is battered, his energy drained, and his mind begins to spiral into hallucinations. The once pristine pool is now a muddy pit, mirroring his own inner collapse. What was once a simple setting becomes a brutal stage for psychological horror. His girlfriend, Koi, still unconscious, becomes the only thing anchoring him to life. Protecting her gives him a purpose beyond survival, and it's this thin thread of connection that keeps him fighting. But how long can someone keep going when the body says no and the mind starts slipping? That lingering question hangs like a weight over every moment in these final scenes. The climax is not flashy, it's raw. There are no explosions, no dramatic music cues, no sudden rescues. What we get is something far more visceral, a final confrontation with the crocodile that feels intimate, desperate, and terrifyingly real. The animal, which has haunted the story like a shadow, now becomes a physical opponent. But this fight isn't about winning, it's about enduring. It's about surviving just one more second. When Day finally pushes through that breaking point, the moment is filled with pain, exhaustion, and bitter triumph. There's no celebration, no hero shot. Just a man who's been pushed beyond what most could handle and somehow didn't give up. It's a resolution that sticks with you, not because it's loud, but because it's brutally honest. The final sequence, which I won't spoil here, hits like a punch to the gut. It doesn't offer neat answers or emotional payoff. It's messy, raw, and quietly devastating. The Pool doesn't tie everything up in a bow. Instead, it forces us to sit with what we've seen, the resilience of a man who had every reason to quit, but didn't. It's not just a survival movie, it's a portrait of human desperation, a study in isolation, and a reflection on what truly keeps us alive when everything else is stripped away. In a world where so many thrillers rely on spectacle, The Pool succeeds by doing the opposite, trapping us in a place with no easy escape and making us feel every second of it. So now I ask you, if you were the one in that pool, would you survive? Would you even try? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more deep, raw, and unexpected film breakdowns like this one. And hey, click the next video that's popping up right now. The next story might just be even more insane. See you there.